Imagine you're playing a video game, right? You've got the controller, you're staring at the screen, and you're making your character, I guess your avatar, run and jump and explore.
Yeah, doing all the heavy lifting.
Right, exactly. And to anyone just watching the screen, it looks like the avatar is the one making the choices, but we know the truth. The avatar is really just pixels.
Right.
The real you is the invisible player sitting behind the screen. So today's deep dive is based on this article by Jin Lee called "You Are Not the Avatar." And our mission here is to use this exact concept to figure out how to, stop living on autopilot.
It's really fascinating thought experiment because when you apply that video game dynamic to actual physical life, it completely shifts how you view yourself.
Here.
Your physical body, the one sitting in a chair drinking coffee, is essentially the game sprite.
Okay, the sprite.
Right. And the real you is the invisible conscious player holding the controller, navigating this shared game world full of other players.
That makes sense.
But the catch of this game is that most of us are completely unaware we are even playing. We actually start our lives in what the author calls NPC mode.
NPC, like as in non-player character.
Exactly.
Characters in games that just stand around repeating the exact same 3 lines of dialogue.
Yeah, the ones who just give you quests and never leave town.
Right.
We enter this world and immediately start reacting to stimuli. We are, shaped by our environments. We absorb the rules you're handed by our culture or our parents.
Right.
And we just sort of drift along on these inherited scripts. So visually, think of it as moving through a beautifully rendered game world, but you've never actually touched a controller.
Oh, wow.
You're just letting the game's pre-written code move your character from scene to scene.
But wait, isn't NPC mode kind of necessary?
What do you mean?
Well, if I questioned the invisible rules every single time I stopped at a red light or, bought groceries or figured out how to stand in an elevator, my brain would just short circuit.
Oh, absolutely.
We need that autopilot just to survive the day, don't we?
Yeah, autopilot is incredibly efficient for basic survival and social coordination. The danger isn't using autopilot to stop at a red light.
Okay.
The danger is using it to choose your career or your relationships or your life's purpose. When the script dictates your major life choices, you're trapped. So to snap out of it and shift into PC mode.
Player character mode.
Right, player character mode. To do that requires one specific action, which is asking questions.
Okay.
This is the cue in the author's framework.
So curiosity is the controller.
Basically, yes.
But how does asking a question actually change the game mechanically? Like if I ask why I hate my job doesn't magically disappear.
No, it doesn't disappear, but questioning severs your automatic compliance to it.
Interesting.
Human-made systems like a corporate ladder or a 9-to-5 schedule or some cultural expectation, they rely entirely on collective belief to function.
Right, because we all just agree to do it.
Exactly. They only have power over you because you assume they are mandatory. The moment you ask a genuine question about why a system exists, you stop seeing it as a law of nature.
And start seeing it as what?
As just another line of code written by other players. You realize you have the option to rewrite your interaction with it.
That distinction is really big. It's the difference between what's hard-coded into reality and what's just a modifiable rule.
Yes, and that brings us to the underlying map of this reality, which the author conceptualizes as PECONAQRI.
Okay, PECONAQRI.
It sounds dense, but it's simply a way to categorize everything into real and invisible layers. So think about the 3 main elements of the game.
Which are?
The person, the community, and nature. And every single one of them has a real, visible aspect and an invisible aspect.
Okay, let's visualize this. So for the person, the real aspect is my physical body, my avatar.
Right.
And the invisible aspect is my conscious awareness, the player holding the controller.
Spot on. And the same applies to nature. The real aspect of nature is the physical universe. Trees, planets, dropping a coffee mug on the floor.
Yeah.
But the invisible aspect of nature consists of the scientific and mathematical laws governing it, like gravity.
Which we don't invent.
Exactly. We don't invent gravity, we discover it.
So that means you really can't negotiate with it.
You cannot.
Yeah.
But then look at the community.
Okay.
The real aspect is our human-built environment. The cities, the roads, the physical infrastructure.
Right, the stuff we build.
But the invisible aspect consists of our social, economic, and political systems. Humans design those invisible structures.
Oh, I see where this is going.
The ultimate trap of the game is mistaking the invisible rules of the community for the invisible laws of nature.
Wow. Yeah, you cannot negotiate with gravity, but you absolutely can challenge a social hierarchy.
Precisely.
Okay, so if I understand this map of reality, knowing what's a hard law of nature and what's just a human-made rule, how do I actually start playing the game differently tomorrow?
That is where the second framework, GoLam 2, comes in as the gameplay loop.
GoLam 2?
Yeah, it stands for engaging in the game of life to awaken by navigating those two modes we discussed, NPC and PC.
Got it. So if PECONAQRI is the map showing you the terrain, GoLam 2 is the actual process of playing.
Exactly. You use your questions, the cue, to spot the invisible human systems. That helps you wake up from the default programming and consciously choose how your avatar moves through the world.
It's a really cohesive mental model. I mean, you are a conscious player navigating a world of unyielding physical reality and highly flexible human-built systems.
It is. But it does raise a fascinating new dilemma, though.
What's that?
Well, think about what happens when two people who are fully in PC mode interact. If both players realize that all social and cultural rules are just invisible, optional constructs, how do they build a relationship or a society together?
That's tough.
It requires an entirely new level of conscious negotiation, rather than just, relying on the old inherited scripts.
That is a wild scenario to picture, having to literally write the rules from scratch with someone else who is also holding their own controller.
It changes everything.
It really does. And I think that leaves us with the ultimate challenge for anyone listening. Take a hard look at your own map today. Where in your life are you moving like an avatar, merely reacting to invisible rules somebody else wrote, instead of remembering there is a conscious player behind the screen who can actually choose?